we have religion, the early Common Era, Middle Ages. So the Christians accused us of killing their Savior, which never happened. And the Muslims despised us for rejecting their prophet and religion, which continues to happen. But regardless, that was their excuse for hating Jews. And then when religion was being phased out as the as the sophisticated way to go, and science was kicking in, so then it was that we were that we were an inferior race, and we will infect other people. And now, today, as we've gotten, as society has found a new level of sophistication, the post-science era, I guess, human rights is the biggest issue, and Jews violate human rights. So that's the guise behind anti-Semitism. So it's just changing. What just happened? I'm sorry. 1 second. Here we are. Okay. So we have religion, we have science, we have human rights, and they're all just different ways of pointing a finger at the Jewish people. Now, we're not saying that Israel is a 100% perfectly moral state, because no one is perfect. And if I had to guess, and this is question 3.2, but do any of us agree 100% all of the time with every decision made by the state of Israel? Something tells me that there isn't a single one of us that would say yes to that. It's simply because we all think differently, and therefore we have different opinions. So that just doesn't happen. Even in Israel, right? Right? The Knesset is a very vocal place. A lot of people yelling at each other, very unkind things. Just the way Jews like to communicate with the people they love. But that's not the point. The point is when people are accusing us of violating human rights, when we are actually Israel is a highly moral society, and extremely highly, arguably the most moral society that is in the world today. But that's not even the point that we're trying to make here. We're trying to argue. And the question is, how can we differentiate or clarify what is fair criticism, what is unfair criticism? What's the distinction between the two? What's fair, what's unfair? Because we all agree that fair criticism is fair, and we will all be critical of the state of Israel regarding certain things. So we have to know where we can draw the line very clearly so that we can convey that to people. We have to be able to identify why they're critical. Sometimes, a lot of times in arguments, people feel things. There's a sense of things. But if we can't articulate that, then we can't argue our point. So the first thing we can start with is an interesting midrash in text number 2, where the Emperor Hadrian, who was controlling the Roman proxy in Israel to control Israel for quite some time, he forbade the Jewish people from observing different commandments. And someone wrote a letter to him. In those days, if you oppose the ruler, off with your head. Someone wrote an anonymous letter, it appears to him, pointing out to him why his decrees are actually not to support Hellenism, but actually they are anti-Semitism. He didn't use the words anti-Semitism, which are also new words, but let's read text number 2. Let's see who we have on Zoom. Harry, are you up for a reading? There. I am, but I don't have a book. Oh, I should have known. My bad over there. I'm sorry. Okay. It gave us a good laugh. Harris Abrams, you up for a reading? Text number 2?
Absolutely.
Okay, go.
Okay, so we're doing text 2?
Yeah.
Okay. The Megatron wrote to Emperor Hadrian, if it is circumcision that you hate, the Arabian tribes also circumcised. If it is Shabbat observance that you despise, the Judeans similarly observe Shabbat. Clearly then, you simply hate the Jewish people. Their God will exact punishment from you.
Okay, excellent. He pointed out something very simple. Hadrian, you follow a double standard. You forbid us from doing things under the claim that it's against Hellenism, but there are others doing the same thing and you have no problem with them. So this midrash just spells out very simply, when there is a double standard, where if you say that you're concerned about human rights, and the majority of human rights going on in the world, the vast, vast, vast majority of human rights, or perpetrators of human rights which are far greater than we are not being called out, it's hypocrisy, it's double standard, and it has nothing to do with human rights, it has everything to do with anti-Semitism. That's how we know that the UN is, all of those resolutions are being passed by anti-Semites. Clear. So that's one very clear way of identifying it.